So yesterday I worked on a whole bunch of Chinese elms, and I recorded the intro, and the intro's, well, let's just say it's unusable for reasons I don't need to get into. So here goes with a whole bunch of Chinese elms that I worked on yesterday, with the ultimate objective of having them look like this little guy. I really like this tree. It was a stick in a pot for a long time, and then I smashed the top of it and left it with nothing but this bare stick. And after, it's been close to a year now. But after a year of growth, this is what I've got. And after another couple years of growth, I'm going to have a lovely little mame or Shohin Chinese juniper. And the steps that you have to take to get Chinese junipers like that is, you've got to cut them down to next to nothing, and then you wait. So let's roll the tape, shall we?
Did you mean to say Chinese juniper?
Nope.
You can probably hear me in the background the first time you said it laughing. And then you said it again. And then
Correction. Chinese elm, not Chinese juniper. It wasn't my first shot of the day. Cheers. Here's the first trunk chop. There's the first bit of leafy greens. By the way, inverse taper already right here. This is dead. And then we go up, up, up. And even the top of the canopy is not very interesting. So what do you do with a tree like this? The answer almost every time is you chop. So this is dead, so that can go. Now I'm going to turn around in a second, and you'll see why I'm not going to cut back farther than that. I could cut back to just like something way up high out of screen, but I'm definitely going to cut. See, I've already done one trunk chop right here, and it didn't quite get me the results I wanted. So it was probably due to not paying close attention to it. So I'm gonna let this continue to fill in, or I'll drill it out. I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait and see what sort of stuff sprouts after this chop. But I'm gonna do one of two things. I am either going to chop it to here, and that's the highest point, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now. Or I'm going to chop it much lower. There is what looks like a swelling bud right there. These buds are dead. So there's not really a reason to keep this much above here, but I don't want to damage the little swelling bud, so I'm not going to go too high there. I know for a fact I don't want to keep any of this, but just out of superstition, I'm going to leave that thing growing. It's a way to keep sugars and starches going all the way up and down. And then everywhere you see a little vertical spot is a potential bud. So we could see leaves emerging from all over the place on this thing in the coming weeks, and it's a good time of year to do that. Summer's just getting ready to get into full swing, and there's no reason whatsoever for energy on this tree to be going toward the top. I've also got this lovely little thing. I might actually, I'm not going to air layer this. I really like this down here, and I think that would make for an interesting Shohin. So what I might do is butcher the top of this thing and maybe strike some cuttings. There's some cuttings in there that might do okay. I'm gonna save that for a minute. Set that aside and do some cuttings in a few minutes. Okay. It doesn't look like much, does it? Yeah, you'll like it in a few weeks. And here's another one. Same deal. The top is, you know, it's pushing a lot of growth up top. The top's just not that interesting to me. I may not chop this one as severely though. It's got some stuff down here that hasn't made it. So I'm going to get rid of some of this that's dead. And the thing that makes this tree maybe not salvageable without a massive trunk chop is the fact that I've got all these dead spots that resulted in massive swelling. So I mean, that's, you know, that's a reverse taper issue that's kind of hard to fix. I like the jagged movement, but it crisscrosses. And maybe the thing to do is just to chop the whole darn thing. Or maybe to get rid of all of this and leave a big old scar and get rid of the rest of this. People don't actually usually do this kind of shari on a Chinese elm. I don't really know if it's gonna look good or god awful, but I'm just gonna get rid of all of this because it's gross. Now, will it work? Don't know. Oh yeah, there we go. We're cutting way into the wood there. So that'll obviously limit the amount of growth that comes out of here. That might end up being my front. So if this ends up being my front, what do I want to keep? And I think what I want to keep is the smaller stuff with the movement and the taper. So, bye-bye. Oops. And bye-bye. Okay. All right. No idea if this is going to be a disaster or a masterpiece or somewhere in between. Probably a disaster. And that's okay. Because it was ugly. I'd rather roll the dice on something ugly. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So there are my three elms. They are yeah, looking a lot sparser. A lot of risk taken. But they were never going to be extraordinary bonsai the way they were going. So, you know, we'll see. Maybe something comes of this now. Thank you for watching. Stay cool.